Hi everyone! Welcome back to my channel, Propagate Plant, and today we're going to be talking about how to propagate basil from a plant cutting. If you're new to this channel, don't forget to hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up if you want to see more plant content. Now let's get on with the video. So here I have my sweet basil plant, and I've had this plant for about maybe 4 months now. And so she's quite large, as you can see. She was a lot bigger before, but she was infested with a lot of flea beetles and also aphids. So I had to cut off most of the plant in order to save it. But she is doing a lot better now, no more bugs, and so I thought that this would be the perfect opportunity to propagate her in case another infestation decided to pop up again. So propagating basil is pretty easy as long as you know where to cut. So what you're going to want to do is take some scissors, just like this, and make sure that you sterilize it beforehand. So what I have here is I have some alcohol in a spray bottle, and I'm just going to spray it on to this paper towel. Okay, and I'm just going to wipe the scissors just because I don't want to bring any bacteria and cause an infection when I am cutting my basil. Okay, so now we're going to figure out where to cut on our basil plant. So the rule that I follow is to just not take a cutting from anywhere that has a flower growing already. And then once you find the part of the basil that you want to cut, you're going to want to look for the node. And right below the node, so right over here, that's where you're going to want to cut. So when cutting your basil, you're not going to cut it just any sort of way. You're going to want to kind of angle your scissors so that it's slanted a bit and cut that way. And when I take a cutting, I like to make the stem a little bit long just so that it fits nicely into the container that I'm going to put it in. Okay, so I'm just going to cut right here. And as you can see here, the stem is a little bit slanted just because that's how I took the cutting. So now that you have your cutting, all you're going to do is pluck off some of these leaves, and I just like to leave probably this much left on the stem. So you're just gonna pluck it off. You can use scissors or you can just pluck it off with your fingers. You could probably pluck off this part too. Okay, so that is the only thing that you are left with. And the next part is super simple. The only thing that you're going to do is take a container like this with water in it. Distilled water or rainwater is best. And then you're just going to put your cutting into the glass. And in about 2 weeks, you're going to see roots forming on your cutting. So I do have 2 cuttings here. This one I took probably 3 weeks ago, and this one I took a little bit over a month ago. And in just 2 weeks, I did start to see roots forming, and I thought it was really cool because they are in a clear container, so you can actually see the roots growing. So that's how it looks. Really healthy roots. So this is the one that I've had in for 3 weeks, and then this one I've had in here for a bit over a month, and the roots are really nice too. So these cuttings, they started out just like this with just these leaves on top, and from propagating, now they've turned into this. So it's really cool and really interesting how fast these plants actually grow in water. So what I did is I just changed out the water every 2 days, and every week I would add a drop of fertilizer. So that's basically it. So after you take your cutting and put it in water, just leave your glass indoors and by a windowsill just so that it can still get some sunlight. So now I'm going to show you how I would repot the cuttings that I've had sitting in water for about a month. Alright, so I have my soil mixtures ready, and what I have here is just some regular potting soil and just some perlite mixed in. How I usually mix my soil is 80% potting soil and 20% perlite, and I just mix that in. So I have some soil in this. What I'm going to do, I'm just going to take this out. And I'm just going to add some soil just to cover up the roots. And then I just press down gently just so that the plant doesn't move around in the pot. And there you go. Now you have a new little basil plant that came from a single basil plant. So with propagation, you can actually grow a lot of plants from a single plant. So that way you don't have to be spending a lot of money buying the same plant over and over again. And so the final step that I'm going to do now is I'm just going to water my plant completely and then let the water drain out of the pot and into the drainage bowl. So now that our plant is newly potted, we are going to leave it indoors for maybe 2 or 3 weeks, just so that it can get used to being in soil without having to go into shock by being in a new environment. So after about 3 weeks, you can move it outdoors and keep your plant in full sun. And for me, I water my basil plant every day. So now whenever you are pruning your basil plant, which you should be doing regularly because it does promote growth, instead of throwing those cuttings away, you can now propagate them and you can grow even more basil for your garden. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. I hope you all learned something new about how to propagate. And if you do enjoy these types of videos, please leave a comment down below on what type of plant you'd like to see me propagate next. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe to my channel if you want to see more plant content. I'll see you all in the next video. Bye!